There we are. Hello. Hello, hello. Also, I should mention that there is a delay on the chat, so we're going to be on our own for about a minute here. But welcome back to LitGames with the Varietal. If you don't know, we are a little web page, I guess, of Vancouver writers. And we wanted a place to put up our stories, and we wanted a way to have more fun with writing, and that's what you're watching here. Oh,
hello.
Whose audio am I hearing? Somebody's got audio on.
Not me.
Dayna.
Welcome back to the Varietal. If you don't know,
Your own voice is coming back.
Yeah, my own voice is coming back on me. At least I know my voice is going through, though. So chat, let me know if there is any issues with audio levels or anything, as per usual. Unfortunately, the way that streaming works, it's very hard for us to tell ahead of time. So we depend on your feedback to make sure that we're putting out something that you like. Suki's already excited to see Felix. Just before we do anything, I'll give you a quick synopsis of what we're doing here. Myself, Felix Wong, and Dayna Mahannah, who we will properly introduce in a moment, are going to write a story collectively using suggestions from the chat. Pardon me. Kutaro's back, and Caroline's back, and Oystermeister's back. It's great to see. And we actually do have some suggestions I got on Twitter that I'm going to kick us off with when we get to it. But yeah, that's what it's going to be. Takes about an hour. If it goes like last time, maybe we'll be a little quicker. We pretty much go until we have the end of the story. So first and foremost, let's introduce an old friend of ours, Dayna Mahannah.
Hello.
Hello, Dayna.
I'm back.
Dayna's back, and we are happy to see her. And then Felix Wong. Say hello, Felix.
Hello.
Felix
I don't know, what else do I say?
I prepared them for you, don't worry. Felix is coming to us all the way from Hong Kong. Is that correct? Whereabouts in Hong Kong are you?
Oh, did you watch Godzilla vs. Kong?
Such a good question. No, I didn't.
Well, I gathered that was you're in a featured area.
Yeah,
or was this just an open question?
There's sort of a moment where King Kong's jumping around buildings, just destroying stuff, and then you got Godzilla who does the fire beam, and he just cuts a bunch of buildings in half, and I'm pretty much right where he cuts those things down. If you've seen it, you probably know where I am.
How are you dealing with the destruction then?
It's been tough, There's so much rubble in the city now. We're struggling to rebuild.
Constant state of upheaval.
Is my favorite description I've ever heard of a person, of where they live. Where Godzilla mowed down? I'm about a floor below that. So Felix, nobody here knows you yet. So why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are? I know that's your least favorite thing to do. But why don't you let them know a little bit about your writing, what your style is, and why you like to do it?
Oh, man. I wish you would have told me. I would have prepared a bio.
I totally
For some reason, I didn't think I was going to have to introduce myself.
100% told you. Dayna can vouch.
I'm sure we can find one online and just read it for him.
Yeah.
Kidding, Felix.
Can you put it in terms of Godzilla, too?
Yeah, I didn't write Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh.
I would have liked to. So maybe in the future it'd be nice if I could do that. But yeah, for now I've been writing nonfiction. I used to write fiction, and I am studying at the MFA program at Guelph right now.
Baller.
MFA stands for
running out of
what?
ideas.
For the rest of the crowd, what does MFA stand for?
Master of Fine Arts, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Took me a second, yeah.
A black belt in fine arts.
He's going to be a master.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it means.
So, seeing as Felix struggles to talk about himself, Dayna, how would you describe Felix's writing?
Oh, Felix's writing. I would find it self-deprecating,
Yeah.
funny, at times very touching and like surprisingly like sweet.
Yeah.
Because it's surrounded like in the context of so much rubble. Like emotional rubble. It's really Felix's writing is really funny and really down to earth.
I think actually your intro there, Felix, is a perfect representation of your writing. Somehow explaining where you are in a Godzilla movie and this sort of self-deprecating, quirky humor. I think that's very representative. So Felix has got a story. I don't want to mess up the title. So what's the title?
Chinese funerals are weird.
Chinese funerals are weird. That is the title of the story. That's going to go up on April 23rd, I believe. That's the Friday. On the Varietal website. And it is as delightful as the title implies. But the star this week, which will go up right after the stream, is Dayna. Dayna, your story's going up. What's your story called?
It's called This Girl Jane. And it's sort of, I kind of took it from like, you know, when you're talking about someone, you're like, you know, there's this girl Jane, and then you start saying something that's probably like not super nice about them.
Yes.
That's the title, you know. Yeah, I guess. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about it. So it is about a girl who has another girl, her name is Jane, living in her closet. And I got this idea from a friend of mine actually, who this actually happened to. And I was like, oh my God, that is so weird. You should write about that. And then I was like, oh, she's never going to write about that. I'll just write something about it.
She had a friend. Did she know she was living in the closet?
Okay, so it was actually, she found this ad on Craigslist, and it was this guy who was looking for a place to live because he would spend 3 weeks out of the month in Squamish working, and then it was the other way around, is that he kind of lived in Squamish, and then he would come into Vancouver 1 week out of the month to do some work. And so he needed a cheap place to stay. And so he was looking for some kind of accommodation. And my friend, just being the sort of like open-minded, funny person that she is, was like, you know, yeah, you can sleep in my closet. You know, that doesn't require much of me.
I can honestly say no one has ever requested that in my entire life. Must be a hell of a closet, or a person who can curl up all night. I mean, at that point, just sleep on the floor.
Well, it's on the floor of the closet,
yeah,
so yeah.
It's like, here's a barrier that's doing very little. It doesn't lock. Anyways.
Yeah, why not the living room or something? Why specifically the closet?
Yeah, no kidding. All right.
I don't know, maybe he's comforting.
So, This Girl Jane is Dayna's story. It's going up on the Varietal's website this week. I had some people confused about that, so it's Varietal, which you can see the spelling in the corner over there, -literature.ca. And when you click on stories, it gives you announcements and stories. If that's like a confusing list, just click on stories and a little menu drops. Click on fiction, and you will find both my story, which went up last week, but I already talked about that, and Dayna's story, which is going to go up right after this one. This is done. Because technically they come out Friday, but super secret Thursday crowd here. Okay, we've gotten a few more viewers in the chat. So how is chat today? While I wait for you guys to answer that, I am going to pull up our prompt. So our prompt comes from, I don't know what screen name she was under, but I know who it is, Vanessa. She says, I want to make sure I have the phrase right here. Good song. The axe forgets, but the tree remembers.
The axe?
I'm going to write it up here.
That's good.
That's what the story's about.
Well, that's how however you want to take that. We start the prompt off. The axe forgets, but the tree remembers. And I also want to add in something from last week that I got hell from my niece about. It has to involve at some point flying pugs.
We did forget that.
Yeah, we did. And let me say,
We're let down.
yeah, I let down a small child, which is a new class of people I've yet to let down, but yeah. Felix, I know it will feel like punishment to go first, but the truth is, being first is the easiest because you don't have to tie in everybody else's nonsense. All I'll say
it's like
is
Jenga, right?
Yeah, exactly like Jenga. All I'll say is that 5 minutes is less time than you think. And we'll see how far you make it. And as we go along, of course, as we already discussed, if chat really has something they want in there, we will add it in. I will interrupt you, Felix, and I will let you know that you need to put something in there.
Great. How much do I write?
As much as you can in 5 minutes.
Okay. It's probably going to be 4 minutes of me staring at the page.
The best thing to do is just to start writing. Don't worry about tropes or whatever. Tropes are your friends here.
And don't worry about grammar. We have Avalon coming on live after this to do some edits.
Oh. As we found out last week, we switched perspectives 4 or 5 times in the story. We went from third person to first person to third person to first person, back and forth. All right. So, any other questions, Felix?
Yeah, is this like a typewriter thing? Am I allowed to delete and go backwards, or do I just have to?
You do whatever you want. Just give us something in 5 minutes. Hi, Penny. Okay, right. And go. And
Diane's here.
Me and Dayna are going to. Your aunt. Oh, Diane's here. I thought you said your aunt's here. Diane is here. She is.
Diane is also one of the from our cohort at the writer studio at SFU.
Mm-hmm.
We all met.
She is one of our MVP Avalon. Yes, they were talking about the grammar Avalon. The Avalon definitely wanted to be here. Hey, what the hell happened to my music? But she's back to work this week. Unfortunately.
It's a bit of an adjustment.
Yeah.
So
she had been off work for a little bit there, and she's back this week, and you know how that's a little bit of a thing to adjust to. So, yeah, I mean, she'll be back.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get like a rolling crew of people. I don't know, rolling? No, you know what I mean.
Well,
a
I kinda-
Rolodex.
The only person who absolutely has to be here every time is me, and that is just until somebody else can figure out the complexities of the tech side of streaming, which is probably going to always be me.
Oh no!
Writers are
Rory's tech genius.
not known for being forward thinking on technology.
True.
So Dayna,
I definitely fit that bill. Yes, Rory.
Dayna, what did you do this week? Also, chat, what were you up to this week? It's been a short week. Did it feel like one?
It has been a short week. Yeah, what's going on in the chat? It's last time we had some very lively voices in there, and I'm like, oh no, we need the chatty types. Holly?
Yeah.
Holly's house. I could host, but I'm scary.
What have you been up to this week?
Scary's fine.
Dayna?
Me? Actually, today I did one of the Guardian master classes. So I'm trying to get to Felix's level.
The Guardian master class. What is the Guardian master classes?
So the Guardian, like the publication, they put on these master classes. They do a ton of different. They do anything really, but I did a master class on essay writing with one of their columnists, Nazreen Malik, and it was like 2.5 hours with, I think there was 54 participants, and it was very cool. Nazreen was really lovely and funny, and it was nice because the group was quite casual and like fun in the chat. They were it felt like people knew each other, which doesn't always happen.
Kotaru, you have random complaints about work. Okay, everybody's got complaints about work. So, I want everyone to tell me like something one of their complaints about work. Let's see what we have.
Yeah.
I worked one day, so I came back, and then I had a bit of a cough when I woke up the next day, and so that precludes me from going into my work. So I don't really have any complaints about work. Nazarene, you were mentioning. I don't know this person. Who is Nazarene?
Nazreen
Malik?
Yeah, she's a columnist, so Nazreen. Just two syllables. Yeah, she's one of their columnists, and she generally writes about politics, but she was born in Sudan and grew up in like North Africa and the Middle East. She's lived in London for a long time, so she's kind of writing from a perspective of someone who's from outside of London, but writing about politics within the country from her perspective. And yeah, she's like an essayist.
And what is
really
like
great.
What is a takeaway you took from your class then that maybe other people writing could hang on, like if in a sentence you were going to give some of the wisdom?
One thing.
Sorry to cut you off. That's the end of your 5 minutes.
No alarm.
Like I said, 5 minutes isn't very long, Felix.
Don't be sorry. Like, thank you. I'm gladly passing the baton on.
You realize that we're here till we're finished, though. So the more that you write, the better.
I mean, finish is like
we need to conclude a story. That's what the people are paying for. So before I carry on with who's going to be writing next, how you feeling so far, Felix?
Yeah, fine. I'm like about 15% awake now.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention you're in Hong Kong. So what time is it there?
It is 9:52 a.m. Normally, I do not wake up until 2 or 3 p.m.
Yeah. So this is
quite a bit earlier than mine.
I did not force Felix into this. He volunteered. Don't blame me.
Yeah,
okay,
no,
Felix.
you don't have my mom tied and egged in your closet.
Okay, Felix, the way this works is you got to read what you wrote.
Wow.
Go.
Okay. The sun was setting on the only bar left undestroyed in the city, the Flying Pugs. After the disaster from last week, the week before, when the giant monkey fought the giant lizard, resulting in half the city's skyscrapers being leveled, people had been in a constant cycle, eating, rebuilding, and sleeping.
Awesome. I like that you called the bar the Flying Pugs. Okay.
Your niece will thank me.
I'm sure she will understand that reference. Why not? She's known for her heavy bar hopping. My niece is a child, in case anybody doesn't know that. So
I was gonna say, how old is she?
yeah. Okay. So now we have to determine who's next.
Oh, man. Okay, can the chat choose? Chat choose.
Sure. How about that? And while chat is catching up and giving us a choice, so it's between me and Dayna. So Rory or Dayna, just put that in chat when you get to it. I'll talk about some of the complaints people had from work. Suki Matsuba says she is working too much. Holly said, I like Dayna. I feel like we could be buds, or I would annoy the bejesus out of her. You guys are both on the island, by the way.
Yeah, Holly.
Sugi Matsuba added, I hate that part where about work where I have to wake up before noon. I'm sure Felix relates to that. And Holly says, I hate that part about work where I have to get up at 5 a.m. Holly is works in a care home. And Holly really liked your opener. And she was Penny was very happy. That's my niece, about the inclusion of flying bugs. All right.
I'm glad.
Chat has not made a decision. I think they don't want to make choices.
Okay, Felix, you have to pick.
Yeah, Dayna, I'll pass it on to you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We got to vote for Dayna just as he said that.
Oh, nice, Suki.
Okay, Dayna.
Okay, my turn next. Is there anything that I need to be adding in here yet?
No.
Do we have any?
Chat is sleepy. I think it'll be like last time
Okay.
where a lot of the suggestions came in near the end. Oh, wait. We do have two things. Kutaro says maybe it's called flying pugs because of the magical animal that resides in the attic. So that's something you can pick up on. And whatever radioactive experiments cause the lizard and the monkey to become giant, cause a pug to grow wings.
What? Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you have to use that literally, but however you want to incorporate stuff like that. But build on it however you want. As per usual, free write your heart out and change perspective.
Okay.
Okay, I'll see you in 5 minutes, Dayna.
Okay, bye-bye.
So Felix, we have not chatted much.
Hey. No.
It's amazing how much an ocean can get in the way of that.
Yeah, and pandemic too, I suppose. Mostly, perhaps.
Absolutely.
It's been a thing. Yeah.
Felix and I are both kind of movie buffs. Is anybody in chat a movie buff? What was the last movie you saw, Felix?
Yeah, have you heard of Godzilla vs.
Okay, here's what I gotta ask. What did you want from the movie? Because I liked Jurassic Park and stuff like that, and I know Kutaro does too, because Big Monster Go Smash. That is the premise of those movies. So what part of Big Monster Go Smash went wrong on that film?
Well, that's exactly what I wanted, right? I just wanted to see CGI for going against CGI scales. But
right.
The movie, I don't know if anyone has seen it here, but it's 2.5 hours long.
Wow.
And really, only the final maybe 20 minutes-ish is what you're looking for, right? So you got to sit through the first 2 hours.
Were they building a Godzilla Cinemaverse? The GCU? What the hell's going on for 2 hours?
We were just trying to set up why all the parties get to Hong Kong in the final 20 minutes. And so the first 2 hours is just like deliberate exposition of like ferrying like a monster to like this location, of like getting these people over here in like a timely manner. And it's like, why? Why are they even going to Hong Kong in the first place?
Yeah, and why did they feel the need to explain it? It could just be like any of those movies where like they were setting up a circus, Godzilla's brought in a cage, he breaks out, and whoa, there's Hong Kong, or sorry, not Hong Kong, King Kong is there as well. And yeah, the stories like that, you don't need a lot of background. Nathan says...
It's a silly movie, it's not supposed to. So.
And I know Nathan well enough to know this is somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but he says, I'm a bit of a cinephile. Godfather is my favorite. Now, Godfather is a good movie. I'm partial to Godfather Part 2, but I know for a fact that is not his favorite movie. And then he said, no spoilers, please. Which is obviously a reference to Monster Go Smash. Because I guess technically I spoiled the end of the movie.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think there's really anything that I can say to ruin your little enjoyments of the movie.
Other than skip 2 hours, who cares?
Honestly, just look up the final fight on YouTube and save yourself.
It's amazing to me how much I feel like maybe that's a writer thing too, where the writers are like, no, we have to build a relationship with the audience with these things. Like, I feel like they tried to do that with the last Godzilla, which when I was young I liked, and then I watched older and I was like, this is not a good movie. Why did I like this? Where they like tried to build like a relationship with Godzilla and whatever. Who's asking for that?
It's like they watched the last 2 Godzilla movies and the King Kong movies, and they thought, the best part about these movies are the human relationships. The parts where the monsters are not on screen. So we're gonna double down on that.
I think that's true. I also think that the Godzilla in the 90s was trying to cash in on Jurassic Park. Suki says she likes Catch Me If You Can. I really liked Catch Me If You Can, but I feel like you're going to have some super weird take on it. It's Leonardo DiCaprio.
I actually really liked it.
Oh, did you?
I
Okay.
always get it confused with Catch That Kid.
I never watched that.
Kristen Stewart.
Kudos to you.
It always takes my second. It takes my mind a second to differentiate the two, and I'm like, are they talking about Catch That Kid or like the Leonardo DiCaprio movie?
The DiCaprio one. I don't know how much sense it always made, but I deeply enjoyed it. It was a good show.
I agree. I have no complaints.
Suki and I will ever so often walk around the house and go, do you concur? Holly says one of her all-time favorite movies is The Fall with Lee Pace. I will admit I don't know that one. Do you?
I know Lee Pace, not personally.
Spencer's here. We will officially be trolled now. Yeah, that's true. He said Felix's weirdest take possible is, I actually really liked it, always subverting our expectations, which is true. Dayna,
I suppose so.
The timer has gone.
I heard it. Okay. I've said my piece.
So we'll cut everything and we will let you read us what wonderful, again, Booker Prize eligible content we have. Okay.
I realized as I was writing this, I brought in 2 elements from the last story.
Oh, no.
Weird. I know. This is a different story. Okay. So, the lineup around the block of the Flying Pug was a constant feature now. People would sleep against the building as they waited to enter, to chug lukewarm beer and restore their energy with deep dish pizza and curly fries, the frozen kind. Tales twirled around the pub like snakes. Tales of who was winning in the big fight, monkey or lizard. Because it wasn't over, the fight. It had just moved through town, demolished of the last building standing, something snarled. It was a bit of a jump, but
Yeah, let me see if I understand that jump there. Okay.
So it was like changing scenes
pizza,
a little bit.
We got pizza and curly fries again. If pizza comes up in every story, I swear to God.
Sustenance.
Oh, and we got snakes back. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, the most tragic element of this story so far, I think, is the lukewarm beer.
Well, the power's out,
that
right?
Felix.
They demolished a bunch of the city.
I imagine that they would have some sort of emergency generator hooked up to like the fridge. Just
All right. All
lukewarm
right.
beer is-
We have written a very long.
The frozen curly fries.
We have written a very long introduction, so I will try to get us to some action. Yeah, I'm off. You guys keep it up in chat. And chat, you are simply not messing with us enough. You need to throw stuff in. It's our job to figure out how that fits.
Okay. Rory, you're setting your own timer, right?
I
We'll
am.
see you on the other side. Good luck with that. So as I was in the zone, Spencer arrived. Anyone else? Hi, Spencer. Wait, your weirdest take on what? What did I miss? Felix?
Wait, did you mute me while you were writing?
No, I was just trying to block you out while I was.
That's incredible because I wasn't
Is
able
it-
to do that. I thought that was the hardest part of this exercise, having like two people in my ears talking.
Right?
Oh.
It is. I think I just got the practice from the last session. It truly is the hardest part, though.
No, we were talking about Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh.
And Rory thought I would have some weird complaint about that movie, but I said I actually quite liked it.
Why did Rory think that? There's obviously some.
Yeah, I often wonder why Rory thinks a lot of things, I guess.
You and me both.
Wait, so that was never explained?
No, I actually didn't ask him to explain, but I guess I have a lot of weird complaints about a lot of movies.
Yeah, I'm not the movie buff that you guys are, I think, but and I haven't seen Catch Me If You Can, so I don't know what Rory was referring to, but I wish I did. Maybe we'll find out. Spencer says he was just kidding around. Classic Spencer, always kidding around. But he says you have the best takes, Felix.
Yeah, thank you.
And he says hi. Just to me and just to Rory. So sorry, Felix.
All right.
He is loving this.
Well, I will not say hi either.
Good. We got that out of the way. Oh, Nathan's back. Last time I called him Nighthon, and I was like, I totally said your name wrong.
To be fair, that's not the spelling of his name. He's just intentionally trolling you.
I got trolled. But he does have some input on the story. He says, I really hope this flying pug ends up saving the day somehow. Spoiler alert.
Make it happen, Rory.
We will find out. Oh my gosh, Diane. I love how high nerd this is. I love how writerly it seems with Rory stroking his beard as he thinks. Oh my god, is he trying to listen right? Impossible. Yes, seriously, this is truly the hardest part. What else did you struggle with, Felix? Or what did you find good also about this exercise?
I was still trying to wrap my head around the axe wound something, and then the tree something. The prompts, I was like, it's quite poetic, but it also required me to think in a way that I don't normally do at 9 a.m.
Which is to say it all.
Yeah, exactly, precisely.
Actually, I'm really happy that you brought that up because I already forgot about the prompt. The axe. What is it? The axe
Axe?
Forgets.
It was like
He
the axe.
remembers.
It was a verb after the axe, and now I cannot remember what it is. The axe.
It's forgets. Remembers? Forgets.
The axe forgets tree. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, Spencer's apologizing. Says, hiya, buddy.
Don't.
What are all of you writers up to in your writing lives? That's what we're here for. Okay. Spencer, you missed this. I have a story going up on Bridal. Should be tonight or tomorrow. That will be. It'll be soon, today or tomorrow. It's called This Girl Jane. And then Felix has a story going up next week. Chinese funerals are weird. Oh, and I was going to tell you my takeaways from the Guardian masterclass I did today, an essay writing with Nazreen Malik. And she said that writing in a pentameter is really helpful, whether you are good at writing with a structure or whether you are good with writing more spontaneously, which is more me. I'm not like planning is not my strong point. So just thinking in terms of like 5 different sections or 5 different points that you want to make while writing will really help you to keep a flow in the argument that you're making if you're writing an essay. So write like an introduction, a setup to that, which is sort of like a transition into your sort of reporting and data or like anecdotes or your personal stories and experience, and having a sort of transition into the conclusion and then the conclusion. So that was a lot of talking.
When you said pentameter, I thought you meant Shakespeare style, like iambic pentameter. And I was like, how do you write an essay like that?
Maybe a pentameter, is that the right word? Anyways, thinking in 5s.
It probably is. I just don't know the word.
All right, that's my timer. That's my timer. I heard nothing of what you said. The okay. I will read this then. I really seem to have bore down into the pug thing, so it is now the protagonist. Or maybe the enemy, I don't know.
Whoa.
So we ended on upstairs of the last building standing, something snarled. Maybe more so snorted as a little chubby pug fluttered down the stairs, complaining about the heat upstairs in the attic. The barkeep waved his towel towards the winged puppy, and in a hushed tone he said, "I told you no. If the patrons know a freak pug is deep frying the onions, the business will collapse." But the barkeep was struck silent as he noticed the pug was glowing and ethereal. What is happening to you, Pinky?" "It's been growing ever since the attack," said Pinky the flying pug. "Especially when I think of how you've imprisoned me up here, Steve." The pug's eyes glowed turquoise, and suddenly the barkeep and all its patrons' eyes dilated fully, and the membership stood at attention facing the pug. Nice little run-on sentence at the end there.
Whoa.
Wait, what's been growing?
The glowing in his chest.
Oh.
Well, that puts it back to you, Felix.
Okay. This is hard to follow.
That's why I put you first, because I said it's a lot easier to start than it is to connect. So we have a chef.
Tower's coming down.
We have a chef pug, who since the Godzilla attack has had growing powers and seems to have taken control of the minds of everyone in the bar. All right, Felix. No more wasting time, I guess. Go. I see that my timer reset. Hey, chat, did we lose a stream at some point? You guys gotta let me know stuff like that. Okay, we have some suggestions here. I think the flying pug may be from a lost race of cryptids that only appear during times of great turmoil. Okay, well, Felix, can you hear me? The pug has to be from a lost race of cryptids, which is just strange old creatures that only appear during times of great turmoil.
Suggested that.
Holly.
All right.
My sister, go figure. Birds of a feather.
Did we get the unicorn also?
Oh, is there a unicorn? I didn't see a unicorn.
Kutaru says, well, in that case, every story is better with a unicorn. Hard to argue with.
It is. Well, if we don't work it in, if we don't work it in normally, I have a way I could work it in at the end. We'll see if I remember. Diane says avoidance and procrastination, mostly in response to her writer's lives. Yeah, that's a lot of writing. Yeah. Making
part
excuses.
of the job description.
I often say that nobody's house is cleaner than a writer who's actually writing. Because as soon as you sit down to write, you're like, now is the time to really wipe down those baseboards. Something you would never do. You could be given a lifetime of weekends. You would never do it. But as soon as you have to write.
Clean the grout.
Oh, Holly's been working on a futuristic story about body modification.
Whoa.
That is cool.
That sounds very cool.
And
scary.
Sounds very kind of cyberpunk. Stream was all good on my end. I wonder why it reset then. So, Diane gave us the definition. Cryptid, an animal whose existence or survival is disputed. Well, I don't know about you, Dayna, and we can get into it. But I think there's definitely flying pugs. How about you?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There's definitely... No.
Here's my evidence.
I don't think you can argue with that.
There's flying, and there are pugs.
A winged dog.
Mm-hmm. As long as those two things are there. Chat, what besides pizza? What is your favorite food that you would miss if you were in apocalypse? How about you, Dayna?
Oh man, I feel like I've had this conversation so many times.
Were intoxicants
hard every
involved?
time. I don't know why I'm always stumped. I would choose tacos.
Tacos?
For sure.
Yeah, because you can't.
Would they make it through an apocalypse?
I don't think so. Taco Bell stuff would, because it's essentially cardboard. But
right.
And it and cockroaches will never die. But actual tacos, yeah. Oh, Holly says wonton soup and poutine. Poutines, I do love poutines. Kutaro points out that my argument, which by the way was signed off by a professional philosopher, Nathan, and he's doing his thesis in philosophy.
Cool.
Over at UVic there. Well, okay, he's doing it in an Ontario school, but he's over in UVic right now. He signs off on my argument that there is flying and there are pugs, therefore there are flying pugs. But Kutaro says that's how a lot of creatures used to be argued for. So obviously, once again, I'm a genius.
This is pure logic.
Yeah, wonton soup wouldn't survive. Maybe you could get canned wonton soup, because anything canned, I'm assuming, is going to survive the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Okay, different question then. What is your favorite, canned food that you'd be able to eat in the apocalypse?
Creamed corn.
Oh, Suki likes creamed corn.
Oh my god.
And peach.
So good.
All right, that's your time, Felix. So
right.
why don't you read us what you got during that one?
All right. So the pug started glowing, and we are at your service, the crowd murmured. Wait, what? The pug said. This time, the barkeep joined in the chorus too. We are at your service, everyone said. Upstairs, the deep fryers could be heard bubbling. He stood, staring at all the blank-faced people before him. Oh no, he said to himself. My long dormant secret cryptid powers are activating. Aren't they? Suddenly, the front door cracked open and the tip of a horn poked through.
Oh my god!
Are we gonna have a charm-powered flying pug fight a unicorn? I think so. All right, Dayna,
God.
that's you.
Okay.
Start driving towards an ending. One that is more epic than 2 hours of a King Kong movie.
Okay.
All right, you good?
I'm good.
And you're off.
Thanks.
Oh, okay, we're getting more canned foods. Beefaroni. I do kind of like beefaroni, but have you ever had Chef Boyardee?
Yeah, once.
Did that make its way over to Hong Kong or in your life in any way?
I think I had the ravioli.
Yeah, okay, so it's like the ravioli, but instead of putting meat into the pockets, they just sort of smatter the meat in with overcooked and soggy macaroni. I think, though, so Felix, what we're doing is, in the apocalypse, the food that would survive an apocalypse, what would be your favorite thing? And so we're assuming it's going to be canned foods.
Right.
Kutaru recommended the inclusion of them getting cotton candy from a separate food dimension. So my takeaways for that will be Dayna working in cotton candy or another dimension of food. Yeah, what canned food would you most desire if you had to? Obviously, canned food isn't anyone's favorite in an apocalypse.
I like canned fruits. Any canned fruits.
Is there one?
The brand.
Dole?
Yeah, that's the one.
Is there a particular? Are you like a pineapple guy, a peach guy? What are you?
I am a pineapple guy, yes.
Wow, I really thought you'd go with peaches. Peaches are
both are good.
They're both good. They are straight sugar. Like, it's not peaches anymore. It's just corn syrup.
Which is lovely.
Diane said rhino or unicorn. Well, it could be both. Maybe like a rhino is a unicorn's parent. We could turn this into a socially relevant discussion about, accepting your children however they turn out. Holly says, a unicorn. Well, obviously the cryptids are being summoned, so there's going to be showdowns for the right to fry onions.
And that's pretty good, actually. That's one of the most sensical conflict of the story.
Holly says that I hope you nerds are happy I'm eating Twizzlers for dinner because I can't leave this epic live stream. Well, I'm really glad you guys are enjoying it. I mean, we still are above 10 viewers, which is maintaining a certain goal that I've set for myself. And I'm super happy with that turnout. I know in YouTube numbers, that's not, something to write a newspaper about. But in terms of just getting people in a room to watch us make up stories about flying pugs, I think that's pretty good. Oh my god. Okay, so Nathan knows what he's doing here. Nathan said Vienna sausages. Have you ever had Vienna sausages, Felix?
It sounds really familiar.
They come in short little cans.
Did the hot dog sausages, basically?
They're like sectioned hot dogs. Okay, so I used to do a thing, and we talked about it last week, where I would eat food that I didn't think really counted as food on a YouTube video, and then I'd just upload it. I did it
I remember you telling me that idea.
10 years ago I did this. And I ate Vienna sausages, and they were the worst thing I've ever eaten. They just are mushed over your tongue like, I don't know, chicken fat or something. Soggy, cold chicken fat. And
You sold me.
I nearly threw up. And first of all, they have a huge following, I discovered through YouTube comments. People got really mad that I didn't like it.
How dare you don't like the food that I like.
But Nathan is mentioning it there because he knows damn well that it's the worst thing I've eaten to memory.
Wow.
Holly said she would start eating the dead before she would eat Vienna sausages. Absolutely. Felix, if we're locked in a room and there is a shelf of Vienna sausages and you and me, you are in danger.
I would really like to try Vienna sausages now because I want to see how bad they are.
You probably won't be as bothered by them. No one ever is. I just think they're horrible. Oh, there's our timer.
What, did they offend your refined palate?
Did they extend my palate? Yeah, to include not eating Vienna sausages. So Dayna, your timer's up. I just want to finish. So if you're trying to finish something, you can. I just want to finish some of these comments. I didn't get to them all. Diana says, "Do not underrate Annie's vegetarian beans. Ichiban would last, but has no actual nutritional value." Oh, don't tell Suki that. She loves Ichiban.
Nice.
I've not had the vegetarian beans. I think I could do with beans. It wouldn't be my first choice, but canned beans, a little bit of heat, I could do that. Especially a little bit of Felix Hawk chopped up and boiled in there with it. Holly says, everyone knows unicorns are the offspring of randy rhinos and misguided horses. That is an image that I didn't know was coming, and I regret saying out loud. Holly says her Filipino friends, because she works with a lot of Filipino people, love those Vienna sausages, and to each their own. Everybody's got their own palate. That's what I mean. But for me, it was one of the worst things I've ever eaten. Oh, Diana's referencing a line, so I won't spoil that. Dayna, let's read what you have so far. See if I can find the beginning here.
Okay.
There we are.
Let's see if this makes sense. Can't wait to find out.
It won't.
Okay. So we left off with Felix's last line. Suddenly the front door cracked open and the tip of a horn poked through. Pinky! The door swung fully open, and the red glow of a smoke-screened sun created the dark outline of the figure in the door. Doris? A horned beast stepped into the bar. The crowd shrank back. It's been a while. I see you've built your army. Pinky's wings sputtered, trying to keep his little body afloat. I didn't mean it, Doris. An explosion of rainbow glitter filled the room with sparkly violence. It never settled. Follow me! Doris the unicorn's voice boomed through the glitterous bar, and she turned on her heels to march into the street. Pinky's glow dimmed as she followed Doris and the entire bar into the street.
Oh, wow.
I hate that I used street twice.
Wow. What's happening here?
I know, it's so hard to turn off your writer brain. You're like, of course, I'm writing live. There's all this pressure. I have a timer. But even still, you're still like,
I'm such an idiot.
No, that's too much alliteration. It's distracting. So, like, is there another? And you're like, I only have 5 minutes. I guess this comes back to me then, eh?
That's right.
Okay,
Sorry.
Because we're getting into crunch time, our goal here is to finish the story, and we'll do what we did last time, which is we will do 2.5 minutes. We'll do rapid round, switching every 2.5 minutes until we get ourselves to a conclusion. Starting with me, of course.
Okay, you're on rapid
I like
round.
how you do this on your turn so that you have to write less.
That's such a good point.
You weren't supposed to notice. All right,
We should
guys.
do rapid round when it gets to my turn, and I'll just get to write a minute.
and chat, I'm gonna do it again. Do we want to see friendship is magic, or do we want to see the destruction of this entire city? So I think there's a way I could make both work, if I'm honest. So let's see in chat what our preferences are. I'm gonna start writing it, and then we will try to write towards that ending.
Okay, this is actually a really good social experiment when you ask those questions at the end of the story. Friendship or violence? What do you want to see? Nathan says, can the unicorn also be part of a Unicron?
That's a Transformers thing, I believe.
Felix, did you just vote for destruction on your own stream? Felix votes
think
doesn't
that was-
count.
I think that was someone else. You know, Felix W is a pretty common name.
Nathan wants destruction via friendship.
Oh, there's a good sense of irony in that.
Spencer wants friendship. Friendship.
Friendship.
So, Rory, there's a lot here. Oh, we're getting another friendship. Caroline says friendship is magically destructive. Oh my
So
god.
really, they're the same thing. We're not really having a vote at all.
Holly's house. We all know friendships always end in destruction. Felix, why did you vote destruction?
Friendship is boring. We don't want to see people getting along. We want to see stuff going down.
Is it because you're living in Godzilla land, or you're in Godzilla's, surrounded by Godzilla's rubble?
No, I
So
think
you're
it's just because I don't have friends here.
How do you spell whinny? Like when a horse whinnies, how do you spell that? I've never had to put it in anything.
Whinies?
Yeah.
WH.
Is it that?
IN? I think so.
And
We're leaving it that way. I have 20 seconds.
I don't really know what it means when a horse whinnies. Is it like neigh? Is that what it is?
it's more like a, I don't know. Okay, it's not it. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I get it. I get it.
Okay. Do you? That's good. Complimented. Okay. Yeah, Holly says nay. It's kind of like that.
Mhm.
And she also says, is it too late for Sailor Moon to show up?
It might be. I don't know. That's my timer. So that knocks it back to Felix.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna read this.
Sailor Moon.
So Pinky's glow dimmed as she followed Doris and the entire bar into the street. We have done this too many times. Our job is to rebuild the city, one onion ring at a time, Doris, said Pinky. No, Doris screeched with a twisted whinny. Our responsibility is to better the world, and it will be better to flatten this polluting city of fat, lazy predators. Pinky pondered this as her army filed out from behind him. I guess her. We switched genders there. I'm not going to do that.
I thought Pinky was a... I didn't know Pinky had a gender, actually.
I didn't.
Oh, Pinky was a male.
Dayna.
Oh no, Pinky's a.
Doesn't matter. It's female now.
Okay,
That's how the story goes.
You're right.
Okay, you
Let's
got
go,
2.5 minutes.
All right.
I mean, I don't know. Could we introduce Sailor Moon, Dayna? Because I'm not a fan of third act character introductions. However, maybe... No, I can't think of a way to work it in. I mean, other than a pug that has Sailor Moon's powers. Flying pug with Sailor Moon's powers.
It's been so long since I've seen Sailor Moon that I don't actually remember what her powers are.
She has a wand.
Okay.
And
She wears a
something,
cool outfit.
something to do with the moon. I gotta be honest, I watched it a lot as a kid, and that is a question I have never thought of or don't think I know the answer to.
Well, I've just never questioned it, I guess. Yeah, like she has powers and it was just, but what are they? Does it matter?
I'm sure that somebody, Holly argues that Sailor Moon is a cryptid. I mean, she's just a human with powers, isn't she? Sailor Moon's powers are whining. Kataru probably knows this. She has a tiara she can throw like a frisbee and it glows. Does it cut? Burn?
Oh.
I think they should, and I don't know if you're going to get this reference, but if you've ever seen the Batman character, what's his name, like Crocodile or something? He's like mutated by some sort of growth hormone. He's this giant muscular crocodile faced guy. I think that's really what the Sailor Moon should be. I think they should change into their short creepy little dresses, but they should actually just get huge scaly muscles and just punch the hell out of things.
So then her superpower would be like reptilian strength.
Yes, all of them. Sailor Jupiter.
That sounds like
Maybe not
Ninja Turtles kind of.
Yeah, I guess so. There was a show for that aimed at boys. There is a lot of salt in the chat for Sailor Moon. Oh, okay. You are
Man,
you were
there's a lot of pressure now.
You are free, Felix. How did you progress the story? Okay, read it for me.
Segued us into a fight scene.
Okay, what do we got?
We have,
Classic.
if we cannot agree, Pinky said under her breath, and we must fight. Pinky looked up to see Doris charging straight towards her. She sidestepped to dodge the attack, but the strap of her apron was caught by Doris's horn. Not the apron, you dang horse! Pinky screamed.
Okay, so I guess that brings Dayna in.
Oh my god.
You get the peak of the fight. You know, Dayna,
Okay.
I don't think I've ever actually seen you write action, so I'm curious how this will go.
So am I.
Okay,
Likewise.
go for it.
Right.
Yeah, so going back to the chat, Diane argues that Sailor Moon's power is being cute. I mean, she can at least fly. We're talking about what Sailor Moon's powers are because we don't remember.
Fly?
Yeah, she floats around. Remember when she's like, yes, absolutely.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I watched it all the time as a kid.
Oh.
Look, I was young enough that like Pokemon and Sailor Moon and stuff. There was a generation gap here. For you, it was probably like some girls' show from the 90s. For
Like
us, it was-
Hamtaro.
yeah, there's very few differences. Hamtaro was really a spin-off of Sailor Moon. Nathan says, wait, she isn't a sailor? Tying knots real good? That would be incredible. To do a Sailor Moon remake, but they're all just actually sailors with no special powers. Just some gritty sea life drama. Kataru, I gotta be honest, doesn't seem like she likes Sailor Moon very much. Caroline says, she says, in the name of the moon, I'll punish you or something. I do remember that, Caroline, which means that moon powers. So I guess in D&D terms, she must just have the spell Moonbeam. That's about it. Now they're singing the song, Fighting Evil by Moonlight. Da 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 da. Da da, Sailor Moon. North American Sailor Moon has a weird intro song. It's the only one I know, Kataru. Germans just translated the Japanese. Yeah, I guess smaller markets, that probably makes more sense. American markets, they probably have enough money to just do a totally different song. Diane says she is tougher than Goku. Well, now, Diane, let's... the internet is forever. Let's not just put anything up there.
That's strange. to
Yeah.
see.
What's
I
her
am
power
making a
level?
Dragon Ball reference.
Is it though?
I think so. That doesn't seem like something.
Spencer says, I think I was tuxedo mask for Halloween in kindergarten. Oh, that is... if you give us pictures, I will definitely not post them up in every stream. That's the end of your time there, Dayna.
Oh no.
Okay, so what your foray into writing action here, what did you get?
Oh. Okay. It was too late. The apron was ripped from Pinky's torso, but it didn't come off. It was a part of Pinky. She began to unravel. Pinky's eyes bulged as her body withered away before the crowd's eyes. No! Her face bulged strangely. Doris looked on, shocked as the pug face morphed into a giant lizard. You're welcome.
What is the ontology of this story? what is our lore?
Trying to bring back the original characters.
No, I agree.
They weren't even really characters. They were referenced
All right,
at the beginning.
that's me. You guys keep handling chat. It's gotten more chatty.
Okay. Where did you get to, Felix?
Spencer had just said he was a tuxedo mask for a time in his life. And Holly says Penny is exceedingly pleased that there are onion rings. Yeah, I would be pleased too. I really miss onion rings. I haven't had onion rings in a year and a half now.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Everything's closed down.
Like,
Sad?
I don't know. They have Western food. They have Western food here, but they don't have onion rings.
Interesting. I've never been an onion ring fan, but sorry that you're missing out.
Wow.
Stick to French fries.
And then there's more talk about Sailor Moon.
Thoughts? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Holly says it's so hard for her to not write the story. Well, I mean, we will take as many of your ideas as we can get, Holly. They've been pretty solid. Diane says, Holly, hashtag major influencer. Nathan's wondering, is this a time loop? Are we watching the origin of the fight from the beginning? Only Rory knows at this point.
I think it is now.
Finish up the
I'm trying
story
not to look as he types.
so I don't have to go again.
Felix, what are you going to be doing after this? Are you going to be like journaling about ways that the story could have gone?
Well, originally I had planned to go back to sleep, but I'm at about 40% awakeness now, so I feel like I should try to do something with my day.
It's kind of like gets the adrenaline going a little bit. Like I have nervous sweats, you know? Which I didn't need to share. But there you are.
I don't know. I should get food. I feel like, but I don't know what to get. I've gotten sort of everything I can get lately, so always a struggle.
Well, Holly suggested that she said she feels like it would not be hard to make onion rings, but I don't know if you want onion rings for breakfast.
I don't know how you can make onion rings. That sounds tough.
Diane did say it is hard for Felix.
You just bread onions and drop them into hot oil. You know, actually,
how do I bread things?
Yeah. So that's a fair question. So there's this thing called Google that will tell you most things. If you are so committed.
Ouch.
Okay, I'll read what I got. I think we're almost at an ending. So I'll reread that last sentence. Doris looked on, shocked, as the pug face morphed into a giant lizard. And so the cycle of destruction began again. A flying pug to repair the destruction of its twin soul of Godzilla, like a farm clearing a field each season. The mind-controlled army crawled up Godzilla's scales to form a human layer of armor. Doris had seen this so many times, and it wore her down until the rainbow of her mane had faded to pastel. But she drew her horn back and charged the heart, the weak point of Godzilla, and ruptured it into a great blast of energy.
That
Like how we're
was so
switched
sad.
It's always sad. We're literary writers. It's always something sad.
The rainbow of her mane had faded to pastel.
I want art of this, by the way. I expect art.
Yeah, can we get
Yeah,
some computers?
come on, chat. Show up. I've lost track of who's next. Is it Dayna? No, it's Felix. Felix.
You sure it's not Dayna?
No, I think it's Felix, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Felix,
It
I think you can end this. I think we've established the mythos of the world, the central conflict, the character arcs. There isn't much left to do. All right, go for it.
You
End
got
this.
this.
If you don't, then Dayna will. Okay, you're on the clock. Okay. What did I miss here? Oh, what was Holly feeling bad about? For you, Dayna.
What was she feeling bad about?
She said,
What is
"Oh,
it?
Dayna," and gave a heart.
Oh, I think it was because I was saying that she was giving some really solid prompts in the chat for the story, because she said it's really hard for her not to just write the story herself.
Yeah, no, I mean, if anything, people should realize that the idea that, we're special because we're writers is not entirely true.
It's not entirely true.
We went to school
Yes.
to learn what people in chat can do without any prompting. Holly says Felix is Googling how to make onion rings. Oh yeah, Diane says it's hard to make onion rings while napping, which is almost certainly what Felix is doing. I wish there were a
Felix is
sketch
getting so
option.
much heat.
I wish there were a sketch option in the chat. I don't know if I could set up, there certainly isn't anything built into YouTube, but I don't know if I could set up like a page or something where multiple people could sketch, but I gotta be honest, I think it would be a lot of dicks. I think people would draw dicks. I think there'd be
Godzilla dick.
Yeah, yes, exactly. It would be Godzilla dicks. It'd be unicorns with dicks as a horn. I think that's all it would be. But there would be a few people trying to occupy certain corners of the of it, trying to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like actual artists who are trying to draw something beautiful, and then there'd be somebody who'd add a dick. And I think that's what it would be.
Oh yeah. Like unwelcome additions.
So Spencer,
Welcome.
did you watch Sailor Moon then? Because I certainly did, and we're a similar age.
I watched Sailor Moon.
Of course, it's a great show. Well, how close did you get to the end?
I don't know.
Do you feel like you have it?
No, I think maybe there's like one or two more lines Dayna can do to wrap it.
All right. So read what you have,
Okay.
and we'll see if Dayna will need to add anything.
Humans on Godzilla's skin all floated back to the earth. Unharmed, of course. Not that it made sense. Doris watched the bodies rain down, feeling, what was this? Remorse? Hadn't she forced this outcome, though? Once everybody was safely back on the ground, one by one, they slowly fluttered back into the flying pug.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Is there anything you want to add there, Dayna?
Well, I have to? That could be an ending.
It's up to us if that's an ending. Chat, is that an ending? They're gonna say no.
I feel like
a little bit more. I feel like we could do a little bit more. A little bit more emotional closure on this. Because we still have the destroyed city unreferenced here, so maybe something about how that's gonna get fixed. Okay, go for it.
Okay.
Holly's having a brainstorm. Spencer says, yeah, we watch Sailor Moon on TV all the time. My sister, Holly, in the chat, and I used to watch it a lot. Nathan says, I'm being called for supper. Thanks all, this was great. Still hoping for the Unicron to show up. I think the Unicron might have to come up next time. Recipes inspired by varietal short stories. I mean, last week it was pizzas. Yeah.
I don't have to go around Googling how to make onion rings. I can just go on a website.
You can go on a website now. That's what Google does. Felix.
You know how many clicks that is?
Do you have a kitchen?
I do not know.
You don't have a kitchen?
You think I'm rich or something?
Sorry?
You think I'm rich?
Think you're rich. I mean, my context of what an apartment is might be different than what it is in Hong Kong then. Do you have a hot plate?
No, I do not. No,
you literally have to eat everything out?
Yeah, or like, canned foods like Doles.
Paint a picture for me. Paint a picture for me. It is breakfast or lunch. Not dinner, because I'm assuming you're going up. You're hungry. What are you doing?
Well, it's always a battle between my hunger and my laziness. It's kind of like I need to get to a point where I'm hungry enough to ignore my laziness and like change and then get out. But the hard part is I mean, there's food all around me. I can walk like 2 steps once I get to the bottom of my building and get the food. But the difficulty is determining what to eat.
Do you have a fridge?
No.
So, like, whatever you eat, you can't even eat leftovers?
I mean, I can eat leftovers, but they'd be kept at room temperature, and I guess there's always a risk of them going bad. But yeah, I can eat
a little bit more than a risk. That's shocking to me, because I really like cooking. Okay. Dayna, it's your timer, but if I gave you another, 30 seconds, would you be good?
I'm almost done, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Why don't you finish up then?
Oh, Rory, what did you have for dinner tonight? Inspire me.
I have not had my dinner yet. I think, if I had to guess, because it was made for me upstairs, it might be, what's the name of it? It's a
give me a hint.
It's a Japanese dish with glass noodles and tofu and beef and mushrooms and I can't remember the name of it.
Glass noodles.
Yeah, like vermicelli, if you want to know it as that. This is compelling. This is compelling. Rory tries to remember words. All right, Dayna.
I've wrapped it up.
Do we want to do it where I read the whole story again?
Yeah.
All right. Once again, we have written way more than I thought we would. Chat, if you have any last sort of comments, I'm going to read this story and we're going to do our goodbyes. So now's the time to get them in. Or reactions to the story. The sun was setting on the only bar left undestroyed in the city, the Flying Pugs. After the disaster from the week before, when the giant monkey fought the giant lizard, resulting in half the city's skyscrapers being leveled, people had been in a constant cycle, eating, rebuilding, and sleeping. You know what? We reference cycles, so there's thematic connection here. A lineup around the block of the Flying Pug was a constant feature now. People would sleep against the building as they waited to enter, to chug lukewarm beer, and to restore their energy with the deep dish pizza and curly fries, the frozen kind. Tales twirled around the pub like snakes, tales of who was winning in the big fight, monkey or lizard. That monkey never comes back. Because it wasn't over, the fight. It had just moved through town, demolishing nearly every bit of brick and mortar before hitting the town over. And all the people could do was guess. With the telephone poles down and every radio and TV station out, gossip was lively. Upstairs of the last building standing, something snarled. Maybe more so snorted, as a little chubby pug fluttered down the stairs complaining about the heat upstairs in the attic. The barkeep waved his towel towards the winged puppy, and in a hushed tone he said, "I told you no! If the patrons know a freak pug is deep-frying the onions, the business will collapse." But the barkeep was struck silent as he noticed the pug was glowing and ethereal. "What is happening to you, Pinky?" "It's been growing ever since the attack," said Pinky the Flying Pug. "Especially when I think of how you've imprisoned me up here, Steve."
Steve also doesn't come back.
He gets mind controlled. The pug's eyes glowed turquoise. Don't know why I picked turquoise. And suddenly the barkeep and all its patrons' eyes dilated fully, and the membership stood at attention facing the pug. "We are at your service," the crowd murmured. "Wait, what?" the pug said. This time the barkeep joined the chorus too. See? The barkeep's story develops. "We are at your service," everyone said. Upstairs, the deep fryers could be heard bubbling. Pinky stood staring at all the blank-faced people before him. "Oh no," he said to himself. "My long-dormant secret cryptid powers are activating, aren't they?" That's such an anime line. Talk about exposition. Suddenly the front door cracked open and the tip of a horn poked through. "Pinky!" You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of John McClane in the end of Die Hard. The door swung fully open and the red glow of a smoke screen sun created the dark outline of the figure in the door. "Doris?" The horned beast stepped into the bar. The crowd shrank back. "It's been a while. I see you've built your army." Pinky's wings sputtered, trying to keep his little body afloat. "I didn't mean it, Doris. An explosion of rainbow glitter filled the room with sparkly violence. It never settled. Sparkly violence is definitely the line that I'm going to caption on like Twitter or something. "Follow me," Doris the unicorn's voice boomed through the glitterous bar, and she turned on her heels to march into the street. Pinky's glow dimmed as she followed Doris and the entire bar into the street. "We have done this too many times. Our job is to rebuild the city, one onion ring at a time," Doris said Pinky. "No," Doris screeched with a twisted whinny. "Our responsibility is to better the world, and it will be better to flatten this polluting city of fat, lazy predators." I also like that Doris wins by saving the city she apparently does not want to save. Pinky... the character work on this is nonsense. Pinky pondered this as her army filed out from behind her. "If we cannot agree," Pinky said under her breath, "then we must fight." Pinky looked up to see Doris charging straight towards her. Pinky sidestepped to dodge the attack, but the strap of her apron was caught by Doris's horn. "Not the apron, you dang horse!"
She used as a
Pinky
derogatory term.
It was too late. The apron was ripped from Pinky's torso, but it didn't come off. It was part of Pinky. She began to unravel. Pinky's eyes bulged as her body withered away before the crowd's eyes. "No!" Her face bulged strangely. Doris looked on, shocked, as the pug face morphed into a giant lizard. And so the cycle of destruction began again. A flying pug to repair the destruction of its twin soul of Godzilla. Like a farm clearing a field each season. The mind-controlled army crawled up Godzilla's scales to form a human layer of armor. See, there's another part of the Barkeep's arc. Doris had seen this so many times, and it wore her down until the rainbow of her mane had faded to pastel. But she drew her horn back and charged the heart, the weak point of Godzilla, and ruptured it into a great blast of energy. The humans on Godzilla's skin all floated back to Earth, unharmed, of course. Not that it made sense. And as you know, as we learned at SFU's Writer Studio, if you reference in the story that your world building doesn't make sense, then it's legitimate.
That was one of our first lessons, I think.
Just make sure you tell the audience when you haven't put in the effort. Doris watched the bodies rain down, feeling, what was this? Remorse? Hadn't she forced this outcome, though? I like how that's never followed up on. Once everybody was safely back on the ground, one by one, they slowly fluttered back into the flying pug. Doris slumped at the bar and ordered a beer. Slumped at the bar? I'm trying to picture this. Unicorn. Does it have like those like horse elbows? The barkeep was there suddenly and shoved a pint towards her. On the house, he said. Doris dumped the entire pint on the floor. Pinky wasn't my homie. But still, she had wings like me and she made the best damn onion rings in town. It was true, especially now being the last bar in town and all. The end. All right, guys. That was total nonsense. But I'm really proud of how we worked so much of chat stuff in. Bald, strangely, is as good as sparkly violence, says Spencer. Holly wants to point out that John McClane yells Holly at the end of Die Hard, which is true. That's the name of his sort of pseudo ex-wife.
I thought it was Hans that he yells.
Oh yeah, well he yells twice, doesn't he? So he yells before the fight. Okay, guys, strap in. We got 25 more minutes. We're gonna talk about Die Hard. No, but yeah, he yells. The one I was thinking of was Hans, where he's like limping towards him, and he's like Hans. But he does yell Holly at the end. I'm pretty sure.
It's kind of bad writing to name two characters after like the same letter.
It's Die Hard. Don't just stop. Everyone had fun. Who cares? But you are correct. Suki says she's ready to see this story made into an anime. Holly says she's picturing this as an Adventure Time cartoon. Suki, do your thing. Suki is an animator. Diana said Suki agreed, good anime. Kotaro said she loved it. Thank you for sharing. I don't know that I loved it, but it made me laugh, and that's good enough. All right, so one more time. Felix, your story is coming to the Varietal website, which again is varietal-literature.ca. If you don't remember that, because who does, in the comments below every single one of our videos, that link will be there. There will also be a link there that specifically takes you to Dayna's story this week. I just have to post it up. So it will be up tonight for the early crowd. It's, again, a short read. We try to keep our stories under 2,000 words so you can read them in just on lunch breaks or something like that. And Dayna, I don't think we mentioned it, but there is a spicy picture involved in yours. Without saying what it is, give the audience a hint. It's your own picture. It's your own drawing.
It is my own drawing. Ooh, what do I say?
How will they react upon seeing it?
It will be wide-eyed. It will match the picture.
Yeah, they'll be wide-eyed and match the picture. And Felix, Chinese funerals are weird? Is that the name?
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep that. It's that last word.
Like the third time.
Yeah.
And like,
I don't trust my memory on that kind of stuff. is coming on April 23rd, which is 2 weeks away. And Avalon, who should be here next week. I don't want to commit her time yet, but she's had expressed interest. Her story is going up next week on Friday of next week, which is the 16th. And there will all be up on the website. If you missed it, on Tuesday, I did a stream where I read old fairy tales by a fire. If you are looking for something just to kind of have humming in the background, do some housework or something like that, I think it was really designed for that. It's what we call a chill stream. That's up on the YouTube page. We read an Oscar Wilde story and discussed a man named Oliver Wilde. Who does not exist. But we also read The Fisherman and the Wife, which you may know as a Grimm's fairy tale. But I read a version of it that most people hadn't heard before, because it's from an earlier edition of Grimm's fairy tales than we generally see. So that's on the webpage, or that's on our YouTube page. You can also find the link on our webpage if you look at our announcements. Finally, if all of this is confusing and you just want us to tell you when and where things are happening, follow us on Instagram or Twitter. It's the same tag on both. It's at varietal_lit, L-I-T, and that will also be in the description under the video. And I'm going to ask the audience for one more thing. Can we get a like spike? Which is, can you click the thumbs up? Can you get a like spike for this amazing story? I want a like spike for the line sparkly violence. So if that line resonated with you, I think we should get a like spike for that. Also, if you haven't subscribed, that's the most important thing for us right now, is to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It will give us a lot more options in the future, and to let people know if you enjoyed this, because that's what it's about. So check out the stories from Dayna this week, from Avalon next week, and Felix the week after. And Tuesday and Friday, we will have a stream here. Tuesday is chilled out fairy tale streams with me. And Thursday, I said Tuesday and Friday, I meant Thursday. Thursday, both of them 6:30 p.m., will be me and one or two other writers from our group doing this nonsense. Anything you guys want to add before we sign off?
Is it always fairy tales on Tuesdays?
Yeah. I might bend that a bit and start doing maybe some mythology, but
Okay. Wow.
Because I think they're a very peculiar style of storytelling that you both see shapes of it in modern storytelling, but you also see these sort of dropped tropes like repetitive rhymes and standard cycles and stuff in them that I don't know, I find interesting. If none of that sort of heady stuff interests you either, I think people just like that they're simple stories. And you don't have to focus too much to really follow them.
Sounds cool. I'm in.
Cool.
Oh.
Thank you.
So I just want to respond to Holly. She says, if Dayna is here, I wonder if she knows the author I'm thinking of. Like, mind reading?
I don't know. Maybe Penny and I made 50 meatballs while this happened. I don't know. But you can reach out to us on Instagram. Dayna is at Tip of the Wing. If you want to ask her more directly, if you're trying to find an author. Honestly, though, Avalon is the encyclopedia of authors. She might be better. She's at Avalon Born. And she does wonderful little short reviews of books. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you, Felix.
Thank you.
And thank you, Dayna.
Thanks, Rory.
Absolutely. And thank you so much to chat for keeping us in what are my goal numbers. Please come back. Because we're having fun and I don't want it to end.
Likewise.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
And